Okay, today we're going to learn a halacha of if you're allowed to buy in grocery stores, supermarkets, fish, kosher fish without kashrus. The continuation of what we learned yesterday, if you're allowed to buy a watermelon that was cut up and any fruits and vegetables. So that issue we said yesterday. Today we're going to go move to the fish. If you know a fish is kosher, especially it's very common by salmon, or could be a white fish, any other kosher fish. So there's no kashrus on it. If you see they're selling them and you see they already cut them up, so if you could buy them, l'choire, the chashash of people, why a lot of people don't buy it, because they're afraid maybe that they used treif knife. Maybe they cut the same with the same knife shrimp on any other non-kosher meat or fish, or maybe even non-kosher meat, and they used it for the fish. So that's the chashash. So here's what that's brought in Tur, and then that's all from the Gemara. We'll see what it says in Tur. Siman Pei Gimel. We're going to start from there. It says like this: Motzo chatichos dogim. You found a goy brings you a barrel of fish to sell you, or a jar of fish, and you find over there pieces of fish. V'yesh be'echad me'em kaskeses. So he says, and you see in one of them the simon that's kosher, there's a kaskeses, there's a scale on it. If you could see, you know what, the rest of the pieces of the fish, I don't see a simon of kashrus, but if I couldn't make out of them one full fish, I see it's one fish, and on one of them I see scales, I know the whole thing is from one fish, then you're allowed to eat it, it says. It says, chazoke midog echad bo. It's a chazoke, come from one fish. Again, we're talking about, one piece has the simonim of kosher fish, the other don't have the simonim, it's all cleaned already, and it don't fit, you see, it could be maybe that piece kosher, the other piece maybe not kosher. So it says, Eshnimtza kaskasim muteres, v'ashor asuras, meaning the one you have, and that's kaskeses, the scale, that's muter, the other piece of fish, they don't fit, you can't make out of one full fish, that would be osur. And that's the Yosef brings it from Gemara with the Zorah, Daf Mem over there, Maisa Benochri Echad Shavi, Grab Shel Chatichos Dogim. Again, he brought in a jar, in a barrel, a piece of fish. V'nimtza Simon Be'echad Mehem, V'hitir Rashbak Es Agrav Kuloi. Rashbak says the whole thing is mutter, all the fish over there, even the one don't have the simonim. Tirgemara, Papa explained the chatichos shovos. When you could make one fish, all of them, you know it's all from the same fish. כשמחברים oisom yachad mischaberos v'nikoros v'nirosho yikulan midag echad. That looks all from one fish. Chakos of Rashbam, Rambam, and he brings many poskim, the maskim with that pirush of Rashi. Yeah, okay. Now, so what the raya from here I'm bringing, that l'choira, according to this alone, without going further, if you go to Aldi or any Costco or any other big, I'm talking about Bedavka big supermarkets, when you go over there, l'choira, over there you see a whole full salmon over there. So you're buying one piece and it's all, you see the scale, it says clearly mutter. And the Gemara talks about chatichos, meaning the guy brought already cut it up. So why don't you say maybe the guy used the knife of non-kosher fish? You don't say that. Or maybe a non-kosher knife that was used for a meat tray. Mashma from the Gemara clearly, if you know for sure it's kosher fish, there's definitely the piece that has a kaskeses, the scale, you could buy it. So that's one raya that you don't have to assume. We're going to see soon why did the goy cut up the fish with a non-kosher knife. That's not a concern. It says clearly chatichos dogim. If you know for sure it's a kosher fish, it has on it the scale, you could buy it. Okay, that's one. Okay, you might say, okay, you know what? Yeah, they're telling you the fish is kosher, but lemaisa there is a halacha when something was a kosher product was cut up with a knife. That's not kosher. The ar halacha is that you have to in Tzadik Vav. We learned that yesterday. It says Here's the. I'm going to read you the halacha from Shulchan Aruch. Tznoin o silka shechotchem b'saken shel bosar ben yoyma. Talking about two kosher products. You use your own fleishik knife. It's kosher knife, but it's fleishik, and you cut with them. Tznoin o silka radish, or silka. Help me out. The red stuff we eat beets. Thank you. Shechotchem b'saken shel bosar ben yoyma. That was a saken was from the last 24 hours you used them. Or she'ena mekunach, or it was more than 24 hours, but it wasn't clean well the knife. Osur le'ochlam b'cholav. You're not allowed to eat this radish or this beets with the milk or milchic products. Ad sheyitol memokam achetech k'dei netilas mokim shukoevi etzba. Meaning, sometime you have to take if something was caught with non-kosher wife. You don't say non-kosher knife. You don't say that the whole fish is osur. Take it netilas mokim, netilas etzba. So cut that fish. Let's say it was cut with a non-kosher knife. The oifen osur, we're going to talk about now, what's oifen osur. Let's say you conserve that, so the whole fish is still kosher, just cut the pieces that the knife touched over the kedentilas etzba. And sometime we'll say kedei klipa, just a little bit, a drop, you just skin it off. Okay, so maybe you're going to say the Gemara mean over there, it's kosher, but you just when you come home, you still have to cut it, those edges. But that's not. I'll tell you, it's mamash mutar to eat. Why? Because we learned yesterday that in this siman tzadik vav that we said already that you allowed to eat the limonish we brought from Shibel Aleket. The Ramo brings la halacha. The goyim is to send either the lemon juice or cut up lemons together, and we said the reason for it because the first lemons cleaned already the tam from the knife, from the treif, and the other one's already kosher. Even the first one kosher because it's all bottled baroi. And furthermore,
Rabbi, the problem in the knife is the tam, the taste of the treif. That was the issue.
If you have even a concern, he might use a non-kosher knife. It's the tam, yeah.
It's a clean knife.
So we're going to talk about that. What kind of the chashoshas we have? Okay, one second. So it's like this. So same thing over there. We're saying by the limonish, the Ramo breed, the Shibela from the Shibela Leket. We're saying already by the first few pieces was cleaned and the rest is mutter. So here also you could say the same svara. Even though, again, that's why I'm saying I'm talking about only big supermarkets and big chains like Aldi, like Costco, like Trader Joe's, Kroger's, because they don't go into the regular little fish shop and cutting all together. They even, let's say, they use over there in the plant something from a non-kosher fish. It already was cleaned by the first few. The rest is all.
Isn't that because it's charif though?
Oh, that's another thing. Hold on, that's another very good. But I'm going to get that to the charif in a second. So even let's say it was bo'efan osur, even it was you're concerned, it was already clean. Now in a small fish market, I understand you can go back and forth between kosher and non-kosher. You want to be machmer, you want to go like the old Bobbas and Zaydis going with a knife to the fish market, and here's usually you tell them use my own knife. I understand noshim tzadkaniyas, they were concerned, you want to do that. But in the big places, the day probably using nothing, they're doing the whole day just salmon over there, and even they used by mistake another knife that was already all cleaned like by the limonish. It all should be no problem. Furthermore, I'm going to now go to what you said. L'choira, it's not dover chorif. Even they use the knife on a shrimp, it's not dover chorif. The Ramo brings the heter mikol mokim. Mutar le'echal mir. I'm reading from the Ramo in Tzadik Vav. Mikol mokim. Mutar le'echal mirkachas charifim shel oivdei kechovim kagon zangvil v'kayoytze bo. You're allowed to buy gems from oivdei kechovim, from goyim, like zangvil made out of. I'm bad with the name of fruits and vegetables. The zangvil is I'm sorry.
Ginger then?
Ginger. Thank you. With ginger, it's dover chorib. It says you're allowed to buy it. If the goy made jam out of ginger, you're allowed to buy it. Why? The yeshlem kelim miyuchodim lekach. They have a special pots and pans and tools to use for that. Toilshin oisoi, or the bichlal, they uproot it from the ground without any knife, and then how they do it. Okay, al koponim yisuf from here, im by dvorim charifim. The Ramos says it's mutter. How much more by the fish? There's no dvorim charifim by the fish market. Even they use for the shrimp. So the mele that's another heter by the fish. It's a lot easier than fruits and vegetables, the dvorim charifim, like lemon, like ginger. Now, furthermore, the Shach adds to this Ramo. He says, by the way, I'm going to another Ramo before I go to the Shach. Now, you have a Sufik. Maybe somehow they use non-kosher knife on this fish. Again, mostly it's common on the salmon. Could be a white fish, any other kosher fish. The Ramo says, Sufik im nechtach besakin shel isur. If you see it for sure, it's a different story. I'm not telling you to go buy it. But if you're a Sufik, you're not sure. Maybe they did use a non-kosher knife. Even there is, you're saying it's a Sufik. I don't consider it to be a Sufik. It's korov levadai. If not vadai, they have a special, especially in the commercial places, they use nothing but salmon over there in that plant. So there's nothing non-kosher knives over there. It's all kosher. Salmon is kosher. But let's say you have a Sufik. He says, as lilan lekula, will go lekula, and you could buy it. Why? They used to buy radish from the goyim. The goyim used to cut the edges. Kitalin, and why? What's the heter? It's a Sufik. How could you go tzveka deraisa if he has a tam of treif and his knife? It's tzveka deraisa. Why you go lekula? Kitalin. He says shenase b'mora v'chatzino. We learned about it yesterday. Mora v'chatzino. It was farming tools. They used to cut the vegetables and fruits from the field. It was no meat on the field. So mainly, today, if people have a special knife just for fish, it's called mora v'chatzino. But that the concept, the mora v'chatzino, mainly in all these places, the commercial, the mass production of whether it's white fish, whether it's any other kosher fish, salmon especially, it's very common. They prepackaged salmon cut up already. That's you talin b'mora v'chatzina when you have a Sufik. It's definitely a Sufik. It's not. You didn't see for sure. And then the Shach adds to it. Why you toil b'mora v'chatzina? L'chol tzveka the Raisa. The Shach says the avim nechtechu b'sakin. Even though they cut with a sakin and it's maybe a sakin of trade, mikol mokem stam kli shel ovet kechovim eno ben yoimai. Regular kli of ovet kechovim. It's not ben yoim. It's we always assume he used it, that took it's already more than 24 hours when you use it last time. B'meila the tam is weak of the tam pogum. There's a tam live gam. V'yesh poskim machshirim be'elu. We brought yesterday. Rambam is machmir. He says Rambam says the kli of a goy we assume it's ben yoim. Most poskim say it's not ben yoim. B'meila there is a lot of teirim over here. The first heter, it's nothing over here sharp. B, we probably toilet this b'mora v'chatzina, and even you're going to think he used that knife which is not kosher. It's not ben yoimah. That will be mutter. And another, I'm going to bring the last thing now. I didn't mention this yesterday. I forgot to mention it. The Kapachayim in Simon Tzadik Vov, when this whole Simon of talking about dealing with that sakin that you maybe cut something with a non-kosher knife, the Kafachayim brings v'da hodamirin v'chol simon sakin shel bosor. They were talking about bosor, then you're going to do it with cholav. For that you could translate the same thing in sakin shel treifa. Hainu b'sakin shechodav bosor roiseyach sheken kosav b'es Yosef b'shem Rambam. We're talking about the sakin. We're concerned about maybe you're gonna tam a sakin, gonna go to the food. They're talking about sakin that you just use with the hot meat,
not a butcher's knife.
Boiling
meat.
Memela
over there, we're gonna say the shuman shel sakin that went deep in the knife, and that fat now gonna come out with the sharp food. So, but if it's not in a fish market, for sure they don't use a knife from a hot meat. They don't. There's not a restaurant over there. They have all cold over there. Maybe there's another heter. So Lamai said the conclusion is there's like the Ramo brought yesterday. Like, there's no reason to be machmir on certain things. We mentioned this Ramo yesterday. You could say something over here that there's no reason. Here is, I'm going to read the Ramo again. Avar shar devorim she'enon charifim kagon tapuchim o lefotos yeveshim v'chadoime noyagim bohem heter kmo belimoinish ve'en lahachmir klal. There's no room to be machmir. So according to this, there is no reason to pay 50% more to buy a kosher salmon. There's no shchita, there's no malicha, there's no ashgocha. The same packaging probably, they're buying it from another wholesale place where they drop it by you or by another supermarket. So there's no reason to pay 50% more for the salmon or for the whitefish, which is, again, done commercially. I'm not talking about the private little fish market, which is hardly in the business anymore. There's no more kimat small fish markets around. They're closing.
Why not? Even the private one, the Gemara was clear.
Again, all I'm saying is, you're right. Even by, you could go, so I'll tell you. Over there, maybe Mamish went from the shrimp to the salmon. Again, no, over there, by the goy, he comes to you, we assume it's all from one fish. He had only this. Over here, you are in the place that he's using that one knife back and forth. You could say, so over there you might think the klipok, the etzba may be cut off. It still doesn't answer the whole fish. What I'm saying is what's common. I'm talking about common. When you go to a big supermarket, all these big stores, all these big chains, and they have pre-packaged salmon or any other kosher fish pre-packaged, and there's no chashash, it's not kosher. It's 100%. If you have all the simonim of kashrus, that's 100% kosher. There's no reason to be machmir.